Seduced by a dragon? Sure, why not? And that is a quote from The Dragon's Bride by Katee Robert, which Misty and I are discussing today. So, how you feeling, Misty? You just finished this last night.
I did.
Right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how short it was. I thought it, because when I first opened it up the other day, it's like, oh, it's only going to take you 3 hours to read. And I'm like, okay. I didn't read the blurb. I've never read the blurb for this book. I saw the cover and I fell in love with the cover. I think the cover is absolutely gorgeous. I will buy the book just for the cover. I didn't expect it to be a demon bargain. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I want his story. I normally I'm like, hey, go dragons. We're all dragons. I'm like, no, I want the demon.
I think it's already out.
Is it? Okay. I think the
I could be
Kraken would be
wrong.
interesting too.
I know that one's out.
Let's see.
Hold on. I'm going to actually look.
And I mean, is he really a dragon if he can't fly? She compared him to a crocodile.
Okay, I was wrong. The demon one comes out February 17th of next year.
Ugh.
Oh, maybe not. There's two demon ones.
Well, it's probably the demon's queen because the demon's bargain is Lenona, and whatever her face is said that her name was Eve.
Mm-hmm. The Kraken one is next in the series.
We'll see.
Yeah, I didn't realize like we were actually opening up like in the human world.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the other realm.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I have feelings.
Well, this is the space to say that.
Well, it's not fun. It's like I'm just like, you know what? It is a sad, sad day when women are like, yeah, I'll go fucking be a dragon's mate instead of a human mate.
Is that really sad though?
Well, I mean, like, reality, yeah, it's sad, but fantasy, no. He has
okay,
two
good
dicks.
point. That threw me for a loop. That I was not expecting at all. I really couldn't picture it. I had a hard time. I
just pictured them like
a cactus.
Yeah, kind of.
Like one side of a cactus.
Yeah.
That's how I pictured it. It wasn't as sexy as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot more like their relationship developing.
No, I mean him having two penises.
Oh, oops.
No, it's okay.
I mean, like, there is such a thing as too much. And I think 2 penises is too much.
Unless you know what you're doing with him.
Do it.
That's gonna be a clip, okay?
What happened? I missed it.
You said, I don't know what you said, but I said, unless you know what to do with him.
Oh, and then I was like, what do you do with him? That's great.
That brought.
I mean, like,
it was definitely interesting and new. I don't think I've read anything. I think the closest thing I've read was the Ice Barbarians. They had the nub.
The nub. Yeah.
I can't remember if the series that I read by Stacy Jones, if they have 2 or not. I don't think so. It's been a minute since I read the Captive series. Is this a Captive series? I don't know what it's called. But she's phenomenal. I love Stacy Jones. Am I even saying her name right?
No idea.
I don't either.
I
don't think it's really a dragon. I can't get past that. I don't think.
Why? Because it can't fly?
It can't fly. There was nothing about being hot or breathing fire. Yeah, I think that's why I was so disconnected from it.
Yeah.
Not that it was
That's funny.
bad.
I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it.
Dragon lover. That was a big thing. I mean, and it gets explained in the book, and like I understand. Oh, her name is Stacy Jones. It's the Chosen series. I was spelling Stacy wrong. Sorry, Stacy. I put an EY. I don't know why. I mean, Katee explains why they don't have wings, because they've inbreeded with humans, I guess, is the inbreeded, is that right, with humans? Or breeded? What is the
Bread. Just
bred with
bread.
humans? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Katee Roberts explains that the reason they are the way they are is because they bred with humans. That doesn't make no sense to me. I mean, it does, but not really. Like, I just had a hard time wrapping my head around it. And we already kind of have like a love-hate relationship with her, so
Yeah. She's definitely one of those authors for me, that like I either love it or I hate it.
I
There
agree.
doesn't seem to be a whole lot of in between for, and I have read quite a bit of her. I've read every single Dark Olympus series or book in the series that's out except for Midnight Ruin, which is the most recent one. I read Desperate Measures, which is the Jasmine and Jafar retelling. Did not like that at all.
I liked everything but one thing about it.
Huh?
The only thing I didn't like about that was the daddy kink.
Yeah, the Daddy King. Yeah, I just
That's when I realized when I read that book was that I do not like it.
same. Yep, it
Oh,
was that
no.
book for me too, where I was like, "Ooh, no,
Yeah.
not my thing." And then I liked The Dragon's Bride. I love the Dark Olympus series. Love that series.
I need to read that.
And I hated Court of Vampire Queen.
God, that was atrocious. That was brutal. I think I like that she dabbles in all of these different, subgenres and like, you know, works through her craft. Like she does a really great job of that. But I think because she is like the court of whatever it is, like that had such a potential to be fucking phenomenal. And I feel like it was just rushed through. But that's not the book we're talking about. We're talking about this one.
Yeah. Oh, the other Mafia one I've read of hers. I really liked it. So like for me, like she as an author, like either love it or I hate it,
Yeah,
and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of in between. I would finish this series
I would too.
in the right mood.
Yes. I might skip the succubus. There are very few things that I say that I won't read, and for some reason I just cannot get around succubi and succubus. Like for some reason I have not found that. Hold on. I'm trying to think of all the things I read before I make this statement. In As of right now, my current memory, how it holds. Let me put that disclaimer there. There hasn't been a succubus or a succubi book or series that I feel like has worked well for me. But I agree.
I
I would
can't
read
think
this.
of like where there's or like it's they're the main character.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've read one where they're the main character. I've read them where they're in the book, like Deliciously Dark Fairy Tales has succubus
Yeah.
or succubi.
Secondary, they're
And
really good.
wasn't Emerald Lakes, wasn't there a succubus in her reverse harem?
Mm-mm.
Or was he just a demon?
He was just a deep.
Oh, okay. Just kidding.
I think the
Hmm.
closest I've come to is the Dark River series by Grace McGentry. I couldn't tell you what the main character female's name is, but she has like a drop of succubus blood in like her ancestry line.
Oh, okay.
But she's not full. She's a vampire. But she has that
Okay.
caveat. And then I read the first book in Rochelle Mead's Succubus series. That, I will say, was done very well. I
Oh,
really like
really?
that. I've just never continued with the series because, again, it's not my jam. I think I own the first two books on audio, read the first one for PNR before you joined. But yeah, I agree with you. I would read this series in the right mood, but I'm very sad that it's not a real dragon.
I didn't even notice that until you mentioned it. And I mean,
And she
you're
even
not
points out, like,
wrong.
when he's swimming, he swims like a crocodile or an alligator, and then I just couldn't get that image out of my head. once she said it, that's all I saw after that. Like, there was no coming back for me
Yeah.
after that. Like, I already felt like, okay, this is like a hybrid, we don't see any of the other dragons, so we can't compare. It's literally, I don't know. So I was really disappointed in the dragon. I liked the demon. Sort of liked the demon deal. I feel like there needed to be more clarity if, you know, when the 7 years was up, the conversation should have been of, you can either stay or you can either go. But that shouldn't happen towards the end of the book. That should happen when you're speaking about the contract, because then that that disconnect between their relationship wouldn't have been there. Obviously, then she probably would have to change the story.
Right. Yeah. Should I stay or should I go now?
Dun, dun, dun,
Sorry.
dun. No, that's okay. I
Um.
don't know. I don't really have a lot to say about it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was a fairly
Yeah.
decent book.
Well, I think what stinks about these kinds of books is it's well, and it's not that it stinks. It's like there's not enough depth to it to like really discuss like the pros and cons and character development, all the things that we like to discuss, but it's done well enough that there's also not a ton to nitpick either. I mean, we can talk about like you can argue that he was or wasn't a dragon or whatever, but like aside from that, it was well written. I
Hmm.
liked the main female character.
Yep.
They finally worked out their issues.
Yep.
The communication, like the miscommunication, didn't last forever. They, worked it out fairly quickly.
And I don't even think it really was a miscommunication. I just think it was a lack of knowledge to be able to
Well,
properly make a decision.
yeah,
So I'll even give it
yeah.
that caveat. Sorry, continue on with your list. I like it.
No, I think that's a good point. It's not necessarily miscommunication. It was just lack of information.
The sex was good.
Yeah, sex is great.
The frenzy was super hot.
Yeah. Yeah. When didn't he like toss her on a table at one point, like outside?
I think they mention it, but I don't think we see it on paper because they're inside the whole entire time. And then the one time they leave is where he takes her to the fountain or waterfall or pond or whatever. And then she runs
Yeah.
and then they do the dirty in the woods.
Yeah.
He carries her
Yeah.
home and then the demon comes and steals her, kidnaps her.
Oh, I forgot about that part. Whew, she's mad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's one thing I did really love about her was she was a firecracker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing. Yeah, that's one thing that I really liked about her. She was just such a firecracker.
Can we dive into this conversation about her being a firecracker? Because
Yes.
I want to pull a Jen right now of where is the therapy if she's been beaten for 13 years? How all of a sudden is she a firecracker all of a sudden with the
Okay.
dragon?
You know what's so funny is I was legitimately just thinking about this. Like I said that and I was like, well, but wait. And I don't know, I guess she maybe felt safe
Mhm,
enough to be a firecracker with him because of the bargain. Like she could not be physically harmed in that
mhm.
bargain and she trusted them enough that she's like, all right, well, I've been, abused and neglected for 13 years, so y'all are about to see the true side of me.
I also think because we didn't really see it on paper, even though it opened up with her, being injured, that it was
Mm-hmm.
easy to forget that part, except for the few in the few times that Soul, was that his name? I was calling him Soul.
Yeah, that works.
That he was kind of like checking in with her.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I got to
Yeah.
play that card, Jen.
Look at you. Yeah. I don't know. That's a whole other conversation that I could get into. I'm not going
Yes.
to.
I just want you to hold that space for when we talk about mafia books, okay? Just hold that space.
What? What am I
I was
holding space for?
I was expecting a chuckle at least. That thought process of what you just said. I don't know what you just said, but whatever you just said about drama and overcoming things for when we talk about mafia.
Oh, I can't, like, I have, whenever we read, like, these mafia books or, like, even, like, some of the dark romance books, I have to suspend my belief so much.
I need you to
Like, I feel
hold
like I
this.
almost have to suspend my belief more with those than, like, fantasy.
Yeah, I love that. I don't have anything else really.
No, me neither. So, darkness,
Has to be a minimum
minimum
of a
of a 2.
2.
Yeah.
Spicy, at least a 4, right? There was nothing really
Sure.
kinky. He just had 2 penises. They had sex.
Does that make it kinky? Is 2
I don't
penises?
know. Does it make it kinky if it was 1 penis with a dildo?
Yes.
Fuck.
But I feel like 1 penis with a dildo is different than 2 biological penises. That's going on our threads today. Quote of the day.
I love it. I don't know. I'm feeling a 4. Like there was no anal that he didn't use them both at the same time. Like I feel like a lot of things could have happened that didn't happen. So I 4. I don't have a logical reason to convince you to stay a 4. It just feels like a 4 to me.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I was going to say 3.
Oh, fuck it. We'll do 3. I was going 4 because I thought you were going to go with the 4.
No, like, there's nothing super kinky.
No, just
The
regular
scenes were
sex.
hot. And she did do them slightly different each time. It wasn't the same, which was, my biggest issue with stuff like that. So, yeah, I would say
I'm
3.
so proud of you for not saying the book title.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Never mind.
What?
Okay. 3 with spicy.
Yeah.
Overall.
3.
Okay. I'm happy with the 3.
Yeah. Like, I enjoyed it. I would possibly read it again.
Possibly.
Possibly.
In the right mood. And actually finish the series. I would definitely recommend this to
Yeah.
somebody who's just barely getting into
Like monster romance.
This is a very good, I feel like, starting point.
Yep.
Because
I would agree with that.
he still kind of had humanoid aspects, so except for, the mouth and the 2 penises.
Yeah. And, being giant and green.
Mm. The Hulk is giant and green.
You know what it, like, I kind of pictured with him walking around, like, all dapper, like.
What?
Do you remember the show from, is either the 80s or the 90s, like late 80s or early 90s, about the dinosaurs? Like,
Yeah.
like the dad's
my
always
God.
walking around with the newspaper and the glasses, like.
Jenn, he could totally have been a dinosaur. Oh my God, he was a dinosaur. He wasn't a dragon.
Oh, yeah.
We just read our first dinosaur romance.
And liked it.
That's scary. Because I've been very adamant that I am not reading any dinosaur erotica.
I mean, technically, he's a dragon.
No, he ain't got no wings and he doesn't breathe fire.
Hey, it's Katee's world. We're just living in it. If she says he's a dragon, then he's a dragon.
I can say whatever the fuck I want. Doesn't mean that it's true. I'm officially dubbing this dinosaur romance in disguise.
That's fair. I'll give that to you.
Fuck. Now I feel like I have to readjust everything now. She made me break my word.
A little bit.
These conniving authors. Okay. Well, dinosaur romance in disguise. There you go, peeps. Jenn, the beautiful and lovely Jenn, is going to close us out. Because she does it so well.
All right, you all, have you read The Dragon's Bride? We would love to know. Have you read the rest of Deal with the Demon series by Katee Robert? Tag us on Instagram at Bones of the Story, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for joining us on the journey into the shadows of love, where dark romance stories come to light.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Bones of the Story as much as we did. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. Your feedback means the world to us.
And to stay updated on all things dark romance, follow us on social media. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
We'd also love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, ideas, or even your own dark romance stories with us. Drop us a line at bonesofthestory@gmail.com.
Remember, our next tantalizing episode is just around the corner, so keep your hearts open and your senses sharp.
Until then, embrace the darkness and let the stories continue to stir your deepest desires.
This is Misty
And Jenn,
signing off
from Bones of the Story.